change. The word alone can be challenging. How do we get started? Where will the change lead? Don't sit there and worry about it. Be the change. Welcome to Be the Change Radio. Host Christina Bloom has been a professional psychic and spiritual advisor for 20 years, offering psychic and mediumship readings for individuals and groups. She also teaches several classes in psychic development and metaphysics. In addition, she is an author who has published 2 books so far and is the co-owner of Moonbow Publications and Productions, LLC. Are you ready for that change now? Here is your host of Be the Change Radio, Christina Bloom.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Be the Change Radio. I'm your host, Christina Bloom, and you are listening to us on WLTK-DB.com, Paranormal Talk Radio. If you are listening to us on YouTube or watching this on YouTube, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and ring the bell to get notifications for this and all of the other great shows on WLTK-DB. There's a pretty wide variety of shows and a lot of great hosts. So go ahead, hit that subscribe button so that you get notification, or ring the bell, so you get notifications of when those shows are coming on. Tonight's show is just going to be so much fun. So much fun. I've got Katie Cavenagh, and she is a meditation teacher. I think she does yoga. She does all kinds of stuff. And she and I have very similar passions, words being one of them. We're going to talk a lot about words and the importance of them. And we're also going to be talking about service and the importance of service and how all of that all comes together and works. But first, I have a bunch of announcements. March 17th. I've got my notes here. March 17th, I will be teaching a magical creatures class on Zoom. You can go, first of all, on any of my events here, you can go to my meetup page at meetup.com/onespiritconnection/events/calendar. And then you just go to the calendar and pick whichever event and click on it, and it will bring up the event so you get into all of the information. So the magical creatures class is going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a shamanic journey type of class into the magical world, where you get to experience what it's like to be a dragon or a fairy or a mermaid or any other magical creature we can come up with. And it's just going to be a whole lot of fun, and it probably give you some pretty good insights too about where some of your inspiration comes from. On the 20th, I will be doing a seance on Zoom that is also on my meetup calendar. And all of the instructions on how to register for the class and get the Zoom links, that's all in the meetup description. So you can go there, but I haven't done a seance in a while, so I thought it might be fun to do one online so that more people can participate. And that will be at 7 p.m. on Sunday, March 20th. On March 26th, I will be in Rhinelander, Wisconsin at the Mind, Body, Spirit Fair at the Quality Inn on Camp Street in Rhinelander. And that will be from 10 to 4. And then on the 27th, I will be at the Raise the Vibe Fair in Stevens Point, Wisconsin from 10 to 5. Both of those fairs are really great. Those are my people. That's where I go a lot, especially the Rhinelander Fair, but I love the Stevens Point Fair as well. Let me see. April 9th and 10th, I'm not actually involved in this, but I think you should know about it anyway. I'll be hanging out with the Shadow Hunters group. And Paracon, Janesville, Wisconsin at the Janesville Convention Center. And I believe that's 2-day event. So you could come either day. The tickets, I believe, are $40 each. So you can go to the Shadow Hunters Facebook page and get some information on that, and also the Janesville Paracon page, I believe, on Facebook. Or you should be able to just Google it. I didn't think to look it up. And finally, April 21st through the 24th, I will be with Brian Kopic in Hazelhurst, Wisconsin. That's way up north by Minocqua, for those of you who are familiar with the Minocqua area. We are doing a retreat, Deeper Awakening to Eliminate Your Limits. And we only have 2 spots left. So if you want more information on that, you can email me at Christina@ChristinaBloom.com, and I will get that information to you. Oh, one more thing. It's also, I believe, at the end of April. At the end of April 30th, I will be at the Psychic Fair in Eau Claire, Wisconsin. And the Thursday before that, let's see, that's the 30th, so 28th, I will be doing a seance live at Soul and Synergy in Eau Claire. And I'll get you more information on that by next week. Oof. I am so excited. I am excited to be among the living again. I am excited to be out and about with people and to be having these events again. And it feels like there's a new energy to it, and there's a new movement going forward with more intention, more purpose, more reason, more, I don't know what, but just more energy and excitement. And I'm very excited to be attending these events that had been put on hold or had been really scaled down. And now we're getting back to, or maybe forward to is better way of saying it, but really just embracing these events. And I'm excited to start doing more of them again in person. I will still be continuing online events. I will be teaching online once a month at least. So there's that going on. Wow. I'm just really, I'm looking at my calendar, and the more I talk about it, the more excited I get. So thanks. All right. So we're going to be talking about words, and words are huge for me. What we say creates our world, and what we say comes from what we feel and what we think. And so you put those 3 things together, that's huge manifestation. And as an author and a publisher, words are pretty much my life. It's really important to me the way that I use words. I have so many people in my life that I love, my family, my friends, and sometimes the words that they use just make me want to cry, because they use phrases like, I'm poor, I can't do that. Um, just, you know what I mean? Like really restrictive. And I don't like using restrictive words. And that what I just said probably sounded restrictive as well. But I prefer to use words that are expansive. I prefer to use words that open me and everyone else to positive possibilities. And even with everything going on in the world right now, we are watching how things are different from in the past, when there have been things like like the Russian government invading the Ukraine, and the whole world didn't jump up and immediately go to war. They started using words. They started using strategies that were different to affect change there. And that is, as far as Be the Change Radio, oh my gosh, that's huge. That is huge to watch how things are being handled differently, and how regular people, not politicians, not heads of industry necessarily, but I'm people I know personally who are able to make an effect by sharing information, which is of course words, and then acting on that information. The Airbnb movement right now in the Ukraine is really, for me, it's touching, because a lot of people I know have already rented Airbnbs with no intention, obviously, of going to the Ukraine, but they're getting money directly into the hands of the Ukrainian people. And it's just amazing to watch how that's happening by sharing information, which is again made up of words. What we say, how we say it, the energy behind it is so, so, so important with everything in our lives, because we communicate with words. And manifesting. Words are paramount in manifesting, because what we focus on is what we get. And maybe we get it in a different time frame than we wanted. So then we bring up words like, it doesn't work, failure, things like that. And the truth is, we're getting exactly what we're putting out there, energy wise, word wise. If you say, I don't want this to happen, what you're focusing on is not the don't, you're focusing on the this that's going to happen. And Katie is just going to have so much fun with this too. I can hear her backstage in my mind. I'm like tuning into Katie. She's like, oh, put me on. I want to talk. All right, let's bring her on. Let's bring Katie out and let's talk.
Hi.
I got your message.
Heard loud and clear.
That's awesome. All right, Katie, first of all, just tell us everything you do, because I did not give a full description of what you do. It's a lot. Kind of like describing me. It's a lot. So go ahead and tell us what you do.
Yeah, basically a little bit of everything, it feels like. I'm actually a professional tap dancer and, kind of taking a break right now to explore some other talents. So what I'm really focused on that kind of just exploded out of nowhere is sound healing. So I do a lot of sound healing lately. And because I'm also a meditation expert, I use all of this knowledge about words to really work to dissolve all that stuck stagnant energy and programming and conditioning, all that stuff. So I'm also a writer, so I'm all words are my jam, just like
Yes.
you
Yes.
So I teach people how to reframe the way that they speak, the way that they think about themselves, and the way that they think about the world, because that's what I did for myself, to get out of a very, very dark place and severe depression. Literally, I talked myself out of it.
Right.
And, that really allowed me to be able to take all of that knowledge and now go out into the world and teach it. So that's kind of a little bit about what I do.
Yeah.
Kind of all in one, and using the energy of your words really to go back in and heal,
Right. Right.
There's so
And
much
it's,
power there.
and for me, it's amazing when I watch people get it. I love watching the lights go on.
Yeah,
Like,
I live
that
for
is
those explosions.
Yeah, that's like my greatest joy is when the lights go on. And I'm watching someone who's been struggling going, I get it. I get it. And then they start a different inner dialogue. And the words aren't just the words we speak out loud, they're the words we think to ourselves.
Yeah, and
And
the
I
words
think,
that we take in from others.
yeah. And I think those internal words are probably the most powerful.
Absolutely.
You
Because
know?
the other thing, again, being a sound healer, part of your instrument is your voice, because you
Yes.
can feel it resonate with inside of you. So your voice is a very powerful vibration. And
Yes.
since your body is mostly made up of water, I mean, we've all seen those videos on YouTube where they put a drop of water on a subwoofer, wah, 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 and you see
Yeah.
all those different patterns that are coming from, those different frequencies. Well, that's the same thing that happens within your body. And so if we look at like Dr. Emoto's rice experiment, where he said, those nice things, nice words, I love you, uplifting words to the rice, versus the I hate you, you're stupid. And what happened to that rice? It's like, oh my gosh, like duh, light bulb moment right there. Like there's
Right.
physical proof out in the world of what all of this negative self-talk and just this negative viewpoint of the world will really do. And
Right.
like that, for me, that was like, okay, I need to change some things around, because what's happening to my body? No wonder I feel like crap all the time. So yeah, it's just really truly amazing when you tap into these different energies of, I call them the 5 energies that make up your reality: your words, your thoughts, your actions, your beliefs, and your feelings. Because really, when they're in harmony and you're aligned, yeah, you're riding the wave, you're going with the flow. But
Absolutely.
when one thing is out of alignment, it's like, boom, nothing comes together. You're overwhelmed and frustrated and stressed out. And a lot of the times, really, all you have to do is tweak how you speak, and bam, instant manifestations.
I love that. That tweak how you speak is now going to be stuck in my head. Thank you. I love that.
I got
love
lots of these little Kate-isms.
I'm also going to use it, by the way. I'm just flat out telling you I'm
Totally
stealing it.
steal it. Yeah. I am so prepared to give away some of my biggest secrets. of how to use your words to really change around your life. So yeah, tweak how you speak, y'all, and you be good.
I love that. I love that. It really is so important. And again, it's like I didn't realize how much I had changed my dialogue until I started talking to some family members I hadn't talked to in a while. And I'm like, what are you doing? Change that. Shift that. Come on. What are you doing? Thinking about it. And it's really been interesting for me because the last couple of years I just haven't had communication with everybody that I used to have communication with. So when I got back in touch with them, and I'm like, if you're going to complain all the time, what do you think you're creating?
Exactly.
But somehow we keep missing that.
Yeah. I feel like it's a big part of life that's not taught to us. Like you hear all the time, oh, speak nice to whoever. And, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. But, we are also taught to just internalize all of those things that we don't say.
Right.
And then, I always say again, like one of my favorite quotes, holding on to anger is like drinking poison and expecting someone else to die. Like really, like you are killing yourself from the inside out. And we don't realize that, we keep all the energy of all of these words and the body keeps score, right? Just like the book says by Bessel van der Kolk. And all the words we've ever heard, all the words we've ever spoken, all the thoughts we've ever thought, other people's thoughts, every action we've ever done, anything we've ever felt, like that's all stored in our bodies. And the wonderful thing about the power of words is that tweak how you speak and you can release all that energy and repurpose it and recycle it back up to love.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And it's, I have heard and read from different sources that cancer is repressed anger.
Yeah. Anger, guilt, and shame.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because when you talk about the map of human consciousness by Dr. David Hawkins, those are like shame and guilt are the lowest on the scale.
They
shame
really
is like 20
are.
and guilt, I think, is like 25. And I mean, anger's, it's a little bit further up there because anger sparks change, but still it's got that lower vibration that really does not benefit you in a healthy, what we consider to be a healthy way to uplift you and give your cells the instructions to do the right thing.
Right. And, that's why you and I and people like us are out there, is to help people when they're stuck. Yeah. And also we connect with each other to help each other when we get stuck.
Exactly.
because we do get stuck.
Yeah. Yeah, we're human. Absolutely. We can't escape the trauma and the polarity of this planet that we live on.
Exactly. I am really, in some ways, loving how the world is shifting and how, consciousness is coming to so many more people. And it sometimes it just stuns me to the point where I can see the beauty of the energy. Where I'm hearing other people talking about, oh my gosh, can you believe what is going on? And blah, 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 blah. But look beyond that, because earthquakes change landscapes.
Exactly.
We are changing the landscape of what it means to be a human on planet Earth. And what a beautiful thing.
Yeah. And I feel also we're hitting up against that resistance because, again, some of us are trying to force ourselves to be okay with the change when we're really not.
Right.
And when we do that, it's just more pain and suffering because we're coming at it from a perspective that's not as effective as if we were just to change around one tiny word and to be an expansive word. And, I'll give it away right now. The word is willing, right? You can't go around life if you're depressed saying, I am happy. I am happy, damn it. It doesn't work that way.
No,
because you're forcing it. And I did that for years and years and years. And I'm like, why am I still freaking depressed? And it was like, I'm trying to force myself to be happy. I don't believe it. I don't believe it's possible. So yeah, no wonder nothing's happening.
Right.
I am willing to experience joy. The energy of that sentence that's like what saved me.
Willing to experience joy. We're going to talk about joy when we come back, but right now we need to take a commercial break. We'll be back with Katie Cavenagh in just a minute.
Deeper awakening to eliminate your limits. Two world-class coaches come together for a retreat in Wisconsin's beautiful North Woods. Meet Christina Bloom, Spiritual Advisor. Christina's extensive experience in helping her clients with spiritual growth and deep emotional healing comes together with Brian Kopick's proven 4-pillar system to eliminate your limits. With their combined expertise, Brian and Christina will guide you through a weekend journey to transform your life to achieve both physical and spiritual balance. Save the dates, April 21st through 24th. Held at Black's Cliff Resort in Hazelhurst, Wisconsin, a premier resort in Wisconsin's beautiful North Woods. For more information, email Christina at ChristinaBloom.com.
Welcome back, everyone. It's 22 minutes past the hour. I'm here with Katie Cavenagh, and we are talking about words and the importance of words. And we're going to be talking about joy. And the last thing that Katie said was be willing to experience joy. Willing being the key word. And I just wanted to say one more thing. That commercial brought me joy. That is my first professional commercial. And Todd worked with me for more than a few weeks to get it there. And I am grateful, very, very grateful and joyful that I've always wanted to do voiceovers, and the opportunity presented itself and I took it. And I think that when we allow ourselves to take opportunities like that, something as small as a commercial, and it just makes me so happy. But I think that when we do that, that's when we really allow ourselves to live in joy. By taking those opportunities.
It's those, I think it's also those little things that we take for granted, and, just crossing something off the bucket list, like voiceovers, like how freaking cool is that?
Right.
And and it's like, oh yes, I want to do this. I'm willing to do this. I am open, ready, and available for those opportunities to come to me. And then when they do, you're like, is this really my life? It's so great. Yeah.
I know, right?
And it's just like that. Yeah. That whole body joy, bliss, sort of feeling that just,
7 years ago, going on 8 years ago now, I had a health crisis. In fact, it was a near-death experience. And when I came back from that, which I didn't want to do, I did not want to come back from that, because when you go to that place where it's just pure joy and bliss, it's really hard to turn around and walk back out that door. But my point was that I decided from that point forward that I will only do things that bring me joy. Because if I'm not sharing joy, if I'm not feeling joy, I'm not helping anyone around me either. Yeah. In the last couple of weeks, I kind of got sucked back away from the joy a bit. And I'm like, I don't like this. I'm not enjoying myself right now. I need to shift this up. And so I've been, doing the things I know work to get me there, like being willing.
Yeah. And again, telling ourselves that it's okay to say no to the things that you don't really want to do, because you know that they don't make you happy.
Right.
And yet still here we are, subjecting ourselves to being people pleasers instead of, again, putting up those boundaries and saying, no, I need to protect my energy.
Yeah.
And again, it comes back to words,
It really
how
does.
willing are you to say what needs to be said when it needs to be said,
and to speak our
in
truth
the way it needs to be said.
Yes. Yeah. And to speak our truth. And I think that that's another thing that is really so important when it comes to words, is we can speak our truth and not be abrasive. I don't know if that's the word, but we can speak our truth, that even if it's a difficult truth, but we can do it with respect.
Right, because again, we're coming from a place that's a deep love and honor for who we are.
Right.
So when you're coming from that vibration, you really can't put yourself in, I mean, I guess you could choose technically to put yourself in a lower vibration, but
Right.
you wouldn't really be able to if you were always working to operate on that higher level of truth, right? Because again, those vibrations you can only attract to you,
Right.
you know, what
what
you're
you're
on.
putting out. Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. We don't, how did that go? It was something I saw recently. We don't get what we want, we get what we are.
Mm. Yeah, well, that one hits pretty hard.
Yes. It's kind of a sucker punch to the gut, you know?
A little bit. But it's
Yeah.
true.
It is true.
It really is. And so again, so often we don't want to hear the truth. We'd rather go around believing those lies that we tell ourselves over and over and over, feeling
Right.
into those stories, right? Perpetuating the cycle over and over and over because we don't want to deal with the pain that it takes to sit there with the feeling and just go and then have
Exactly.
permanent peace, right? We're just not willing to do that. And
Right, because I think for some people, I think for a lot of people, it's a scary thing to do.
Yeah,
I know
so
I know
scary.
when I first faced it, it was terrifying. I'm like, I don't know what's on the other side of this.
Right. Who would you be if you didn't tell yourself the same stories you've been telling yourself for 10 years, 20 years, 50 years?
Right.
Right?
Let's use that word stories. I think that's a very important word, because I have used that analogy with people and they look at me and say, I'm not telling a story. I don't know what you're talking about.
We sit here and laugh.
We sit here and laugh now, but I remember, way back when, being in a place where, like, story, what are you talking about? I'm just telling you about my life,
Yeah.
Yeah. And the story that I believed about my life, and the story I believe about my life today is very different than the story I believed about my life even 8-10 years ago.
Mm.
And I think that that's the way it's supposed to be, because if you're not growing, what are you doing?
Yeah. It takes so much energy to choose the same thing over and over and over and over and resist.
Yes.
And yet, if we tell ourselves, hey, I'm willing to experience something new, I'm available for what's next, I'm
That's
ready
right.
for it, bring it on.
Yeah.
Then it kind of softens the blow a little bit of going into that unknown,
It does.
because you're using one of those expansive words. I am ready, I am open, I am willing, I'm available. And that makes it a little bit less scary,
Yeah.
and it allows you to walk with the fear holding hands, and I think that's one of the greatest gifts that
Does.
we can give
It,
ourselves.
I love the expansive words that you were saying. The expanse words are so important.
Those are the game changers.
They are the game changers.
Yeah.
So just as an example for maybe somebody who's listening and it hasn't gotten to this point yet, let's just give some examples of restrictive words so that people can hear themselves say it.
Yeah.
All right. You go first.
All right. Well, another Kate-ism for you. Don't let your butt get in the way. When you say the word but, it cuts off all possibilities from coming to you. I want to do this, but guess what? Ain't gonna happen.
Yep. Here's another phrase with but. Everything after but is BS.
Yeah, I like that one.
So yeah, that's something that I heard years ago, and it's really stuck with me. When I hear myself say a but, I'm like, back it up,
Yep.
erase,
Mhm.
undo. That's a word that we don't want to. I was trying to think. The word poor is a very restrictive word on many levels. I was talking to a friend one time who was talking about her ex and saying, oh, that poor guy. And I'm like, whoa, stop. Why would you put that on somebody? Anybody.
Yeah.
Because you can, and in that respect, she was referring to him as emotionally poor, like, oh, that poor guy, he just doesn't get it. not necessarily, and that it doesn't always apply to finances. It can apply to emotion and personality and whatever. And just feeling sorry for somebody is restrictive,
Yeah.
because it's like when you think about when you think something about somebody, it's like you're thinking it to that person and you're putting it on them. And there are so many people who don't understand that. Well, I would know what to do if I didn't worry about my kids. Well, how about you don't worry about them and you send them love and light and fun and
Yeah.
joy?
Yeah. So true. And,
Yeah.
when you hear people say, oh, karma's a bitch, karma will take care of it. Well, guess what? You're wishing harm upon that person. So what's coming out of your mouth?
And
Like,
what's
that
going to
is
come back that way?
yeah, like that
Yeah.
has to come through you first. And, so when we put these words, when we project these words on other people, when we project our fears and our worries and our doubts and all of our stories,
Yes.
right? There is so much energy that's behind those words. And, I'm sure you say this to your people as well, but every single word you say is a spell, right?
Yes.
It's called spelling for a reason.
Exactly.
Those words
Thank
are
you very
so
much.
they're so important. And
Yes.
when we take the moment, just a moment, to stop before we speak, that's all we need to change the course, literally change the course of our lives.
Right. Exactly. It is so important. So, so, so important. And I love words. I mean, I'm a writer too. I'm a wordsmith, an author, whatever you want to call it. I love words.
Yeah.
I love them. So I really want to be careful about the words that I choose having to do with anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because again, they all resonate.
Yeah.
And we're not yet talking about the uplifting words, the expansive words, but you how you feel when you say certain words.
Oh, yeah.
And certain words, and we can even do this later for the meditation part, but certain words carry a massive charge with certain people, like even just the word money.
Yeah.
Like when you hear the word money, for some people, it brings up so much anxiety. And even for a while, like I had to sit with the energy of that word, because like what I was feeling from just saying the word money versus like abundance or prosperity or cash flow or currency, all of these different words resonate on a different level.
Right.
And it's really important to choose the words that resonate really deeply with you. I call it, here's another Kateism, that bone buzz that you get when you say those words that just, yeah, that's my word.
Right.
And
right. And you're right. Money is a supercharged word, both positive and negative.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's so much shame and guilt around money and so much fear around money that money is a supercharged word, and how it charges is depends on where you're at with the idea of money. Yeah. Crazy. Oh, another one
called life.
I have 2 adult children, and I've gotten on both of them about this at different times. And I know one might be watching, the other one definitely is not. But the phrase, that sucks. Why would you do that? Stop that. Stop that. Yeah, because what are you creating? Our words literally create our reality.
Yes. If this sucks, you are calling in more suckage.
Yes, exactly.
Right. And we don't think about the emotional connection that we have with these phrases and these words. They just kind of roll off our tongue like verbal diarrhea. Exactly. We don't even think about it. But yet there is such a deep connection, such a deep charge. And again, there you go, spelling.
Yep.
And it's like, when are we going to make this connection? If there's one wish that I had for humanity, it's like, please make the connection with your words and the energy behind them. Yes. Because literally, if we can just change the way we speak, then we create a brand new reality for ourselves.
You're so true. So true. Wow. All right. Let's talk about the expansive words.
Yes.
Yes. Building.
Yes. Yes is the expansive word. Yes.
Yes. I love the word building or creating, because that is so expansive. Yeah. It's so expansive. I am creating. It's so funny because people think about writing a book, say, right? So, and then they start telling themselves a story about how hard it is to write a book, and about how, oh man, this is so confusing and this is so hard. And I don't want anybody editing my book, because they're going to change the whole thing. And I'm telling you this because as a publisher, I hear these things.
I'm sure.
A lot.
Oh,
so, a good editor will not take your voice away. They will just make it more understandable. Just for anyone,
enhance it.
Yes, for anyone who has anxiety about writing a book, that's what it is. But instead of thinking about writing, which I think is an expansive word, but if you put creating, creating a way to share my message. Share is another expansive word. Yeah.
Oh, I had a whole list. Why can't none of them want to come to me right now? So thank you. Aphasia, another word I will never forget.
Yeah.
Of course, you never forget that word.
Right.
You will never, ever, ever forget the word aphasia, which is not really an expansive word. But so what's coming to me right now is the word possibility.
Oh, yeah.
And when we say, I am open to all of the possibilities that are available, right? Not just opportunities, not just resources, not just inspiration or motivation or the right people or the support or the circumstances. No, it's possibilities, because that's all encompassing, right? Because again, everything is possible all the time, because time is not linear, right? So when we tap into the word possibility, well, without getting all like sciencey and nerdy and geeky about quantum physics and whatnot, but we open ourselves up to call all of that in. Yeah. And again, that belief, anything is possible. Yeah. Well, what do you want? Yeah. Bring me possibilities.
Science and metaphysics are not opposites.
Oh no, they're like one and the same.
They're like a DNA molecule,
Yeah.
They are, they're right there together. So I teach, a lot of what I teach is based in the teachings of Albert Einstein and Nikola Tesla, because energy, it's all about energy. And there is nothing more expansive than energy. It never stops expanding.
Right. Yeah. And we can just hook on, ride the wave.
Absolutely. Ride the wave. I love that.
Yeah.
I love that.
Honestly, like my little arsenal of words are those four: open, willing, available, and ready. Like I find when I put those in front of my affirmations or my mantras, whatever it is, like especially lately, like bam, there it is for you. Okay, well, thank you.
Yeah.
Right. And it's like I am ready to receive. Like that statement right there. I am ready to receive. I am available to receive. I am open to receive. I am willing to receive.
And I am able to receive.
Yes. I am open, willing, available, ready, and able to effortlessly receive without judgment.
Yes. Love it.
Right? How many power words can we stick into a sentence?
That's right. You know what, though?
Supercharge.
I love the power words in a sentence, because how many sentences in our old lives do we have the diminishing power, of power words strung together?
Exactly.
The more power words we can put together, the higher we vibrate. Yeah. That's beautiful.
I agree.
It's absolutely beautiful. All right, we're going to take another break now. And when we come back, we're going to talk about service, because we haven't even touched on that yet.
Looking to launch your new masterpiece? Then try something new with Moonbow Publishing and Production. At Moonbow, we have a strong desire to serve authors in a powerful and meaningful way. After all, you poured your heart and soul into your writing, and we fully understand and respect that. Remember this: you will own the copyright to your work. You will have the final say on your work before being published. Even after all of that, we've saved the best for last. We won't take a percentage sold. Nope, not a penny. Excited about MoonbowPublications.com yet? We thought so. Take advantage of our company's services like book editing, formatting, and covers, publishing, and photography. Moonbow Publishing and Productions has everything you are looking for in a company. Remember, we will not keep any commissions. We are a boutique publishing company focusing on spiritual, health and wellness, and personal growth genres. Moonbow Publications and Productions, a new kind of publishing company.
Welcome back, everyone. It is 42 minutes past the hour. You are listening to Be the Change Radio on WLTK. That's the first time I've messed that up. Seriously. WLTK-DB.com, Paranormal Talk Radio. You know what? I was told when I started the show back in September, you're going to mess that up. And this is the first time I've messed it up. But you know what? I don't care. It's fun. And most
Get it
people,
out of the way, right?
You know, it's funny though, because when I say the call letters for this station, people are like, wait, what did you say? So, there we go. This time I didn't say it. All right. That is a great snapshot of Katie. Like her picture's frozen there. It's a great snapshot of you laughing. That was awesome. Oh, honey, let's talk about service, because that is a huge, huge thing for people like you and me. Because if I can't be of service, I kind of feel like, what's the point? You know?
When you house all of this information, you cannot keep it to yourself.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And it never stops coming. I'm assuming it's the same for you.
Oh,
like,
yes.
The information just never stops. It's like constant downloads.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Yeah. I feel like that's why I write so much. It's just like there's so many messages that come through, and it's like I don't know who needs to hear it, but there's a reason why it's coming through.
Yeah.
And I apparently have this gift of being able to take that and stick it into some words and get it out there and make a difference. And
Right.
I mean, what, like, oh my God, like this is my life? Like, really? Like, wow.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, it's incredible.
It is no small gift to take that energy and turn it into words. That is not a small gift. That is a huge gift, because I don't know about you, but when I do readings, sometimes I'll get like images or I'll get a feeling, and I have to translate that into words.
Yeah.
And
I sit there with my clients. I'm like, can you explain this to me in human, please?
Exactly. And English too, please, because that's the only language I actually speak. I mean, you know, as far as human languages go. I think I wanted to go a little bit deeper dive on the word service and what that means to you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, like, I've been in service roles really my whole life, you know, starting teaching when I was, 15 back in the 90s. And then, you know, obviously like retail and restaurants, all that stuff. And then coming back throughout, you know, continuing my teaching career, but coming back to teaching a different way, teaching something brand new. Because I no longer could teach tap. It was COVID. You can't go anywhere. You can't do anything. So hang up my tap shoes. I was like, okay, let's do something else. And, you know, I feel like it's a part of who I am and why I'm here. And I always knew since I was a kid that I was here, I won't swear, but to F sheet up We'll put it that way. And I knew that there was like something that I was meant to bring to the planet and get it out there. I always saw myself on stage. Granted, it was with a guitar and a microphone and a full stadium full of people jamming out to my rock band. But the universe had a different plan for me. And I still have to, get up on the stage in front of the sold out arena with the microphone, sans guitar, to speak. But I've been afforded all of these online platforms to get the message out. And I honestly just feel like that's why I'm here. That's why I was given these gifts, is literally to be of service to humanity. And that's what lights me up. That's why I do what I do, is just to see these light bulbs go off in people's heads and like oh my gosh, I don't have to be in pain anymore. Are you kidding me? You can get rid of this instantly. Yeah, we can. And it's just like, I'm here to help heal the world. That's it. And I love that.
Everything you just said could come out of my mouth. Exactly. Because if I'm not of service, what am I doing?
Yeah.
Yeah,
if we're not giving back.
Right.
It's like, why do we have what we have? Why do we have these dreams of doing what we do? And, again, our dreams might seem weird, quote, quote, to other people, but they make perfect sense to us. And even though we might never really fully get to eat the fruit from the trees, from the seeds that we're planting now, we understand that. And we know that this work will continue to serve well after we're gone.
Right.
And I think just knowing that service aspect of it will always continue, makes this work so worth it.
It really does, and we're actually being of service right now, because this is going out live into the universe. And it's not just going, oh, what happened to my camera there? Okay. Anyway, so it goes out live, and then it goes out on replays, and then it gets turned into a podcast and gets put out on replay again. And so, in different places. So, we're being of service just by sharing what are the power words, what are the disempowering words, what is service about? How can I be of service? And I have people who ask me that too. It's like, I have this gift, I have this talent. I want to be of service, but I don't want a business. You know what? Every time you go to coffee with a friend and you have a deep conversation and you both leave feeling fulfilled, guess what? You've been of service.
Yeah.
It really is that easy. And I just don't think, I think we tend to, as humans, try to complicate everything.
Of course we do.
I don't know why. I mean, does that like make us feel smarter, or what's the deal with that?
I don't know. Us silly humans and our programs.
I know, right? It's so crazy. It is so crazy. But it's what an adventure to come into one of these fragile little bodies, right? I mean, in the greater aspect of things, the human body's not that tough.
Right.
So why did we do that? Why did we choose to take these huge, expansive spirits that we are and try to jam as much of it as we can into this if we're not going to use it to serve others?
Yeah. And, we hear too, you can heal with your presence. Like, you don't have to do anything. You just need to be.
Yeah.
And what great service that is.
Right.
And we forget that. And again, it goes back to those little things that we take for granted. Us just showing up, holding space, not even saying anything. We walk in the room and just hold space for the room.
Yeah.
It's like those people who walk in, they feel like sunshine. Yeah.
I love that. Well, we have 10 minutes left according to our little live clock up here. So would you like to take us out with a guided meditation?
Sure. Yeah. Let's see.
Just try not to leave any big, long, empty spaces, because dead air on radio is never a good thing.
Oh, yes. No dead air. No, not with this voice. So, yeah, let's I kind of want to ruffle up some feathers, maybe just a little bit, to get
Awesome. Let's do it.
people thinking. So yeah, I want to go back to money, if
All
that's
right.
okay, because I know that's one of the things that the group of people that I work with, Fridays are our money days, money manifestations. And we work to clear out all these blocks that we have around money, because it's such a loaded word.
It really
So
is.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm just going to invite you, if you can close your eyes, if you want to just keep your eyes open, that's fine too. But I'm just going to invite you to take a nice deep breath in through the nose, and then gently out through the nose. And again, in through the nose and out through the nose. And one more time, in through the nose and out through the nose. And one deep breath in through the nose all the way to the toes, and gently back out. There we go. And just notice right now how your body feels in this moment. And now I invite you to think of the word money. And just notice what happens inside of your body. And I don't know, Christina, if you want to be the surrogate for all of us, if you would
Sure.
like to do a
I
little,
will.
be
Yes.
in the hot seat, if you will, why don't you tell me what's happening inside your body right now when you think of the word money?
Excitement.
Excitement. Ooh, nice.
Yeah.
So, yeah, what does that excitement feel like?
It feels like freedom. It
Mm,
feels like what's the word I'm thinking? It feels like sharing.
mm, nice. And what physical sensations do you get?
Little fluttery in the stomach and the heart area and the
Mm.
solar plexus. Little bit of tingling. I have some just excitement in the whole general chest area. Like when I get excited, that's where I feel it, is in my heart area.
Great. And is that excitement in the heart area a little bit different from the fluttering in the stomach?
A little bit, yeah.
A little bit. Which one is a little bit stronger for you?
The heart.
The heart? Great. Let's focus all your attention on the heart. And no matter what is coming up for anyone out there listening, allow yourself to feel into it. Some of us have very positive feelings when it comes to money. Some of us don't. So
Right.
whatever comes up for you is exactly what you need right now. And it's an opportunity to go inside and heal on the spot. All of this energy that's coming up is meant for you right now because you are ready. So if you're feeling those maybe not so positive feelings, allow yourself to feel them with no judgment. We're not telling ourselves any stories. We're not hooking into any thoughts. We're not trying to change anything or make it go away. We are just allowing ourselves to notice what we notice. And so, Christina, since you have a very positive energy that comes up around money, when you go inside and you feel that, I'm going to invite you to anchor that feeling in. Let it sit in your heart nice and deep. And allow yourself to go right inside that space where you feel it. And for those of us with that positive thought, that positive energy that's coming up, go ahead and dial that up to 10. And sit in that energy for a moment. Marinate in it, if you will. Call it down into your cells. And for those of you who are sitting with some uncomfortable feelings right now, invite yourself to go a little bit deeper. Find the most intense part of the most intense part. And give yourself permission to fully feel whatever is there. And if it moves around, go ahead and follow it. All this energy wants is a little bit of acknowledgement. So often we push everything down, we deny it, we avoid it, don't want to deal with it, but it keeps coming back because it just wants to be acknowledged. So we have to go in order to get out. And just allowing it to be there. That's it. There we go. Yeah, there is a big energetic shift there. Yeah, you felt it. You felt it.
I sure did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and this is the wonderful thing about this particular work is that something just shifted. And that was only a couple of minutes.
Right.
So what else is different?
And what else is possible?
Yeah, because now you just changed. So everything else, ripple effect, what else is different? So I'll invite you to notice what's different over the next few days.
And Katie,
and that's like the shortest meditation ever.
And it was a great meditation though, because it was short and to the point. And really there's, today's energy has been a little wonky. So
yes, it has.
Yes. So a short meditation probably is more memorable for people today anyway. Katie, I have so enjoyed having you on this show. And we don't have our ticker. The station is under construction and we don't have a little ticker thing up. So could you give us your website, please?
Yeah. So my website is feelyourlight.com. And you can find me there. You can also find me on Medium at Katie Cavenagh. And I'm all over Facebook, facebook.com/katiecav.energy.
Awesome. And I love your energy. I have to tell
you.
I just love your energy. And I know we have not met in person. This is only the second conversation we've ever had. And it is the most natural conversation I think I've ever had with anyone. So
well, thank you. Yeah. Hey, when you find your people, you know.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And thank you for being one of those people. And thank you for being on our show tonight. It has been absolutely delightful. And at some point, would love to have you back.
Yeah, I would love that. Thank you so much. This has been so wonderful. Yeah, you got something really great here.
I love it. I love it. Thank you so much. Thank you to everyone who tuned in tonight and who tunes in on the replays. Feel free to leave your comments for us. And we will see you next week when I'm talking with Tara Stricker. And looking forward to that. Thank you.